right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and much salutation to you, elect Akyam, across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. All right, I'm the brother Sha'ar from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming at you all with another lesson. Well, really, it can't. All right, on the highways and byways, we're another day closer to the kingdom of heaven. All right, and as we obviously see continually Esau's infrastructure falling, all right, this man who's the devil the Bible speaks of, Eve, all right, getting more petty within his doings, all right, and continuing to put more thorns on the men of the Lord's side, which at the end of the day, we've already received our blessing, man. We just waiting for our inheritance, man. Within the meantime of that, we got to do the things that the Lord had told us to do, which is prophecy, which is prophesy, all right, in season and out of season. Okay, and again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, which is that small remnant, all right, that the Lord promised that he was going to deliver out of this madness, man. All right, because you look around and you see what's going on around this place, man. All right, if these people that you see out here, man, they ain't doing the will of the Lord. You look at the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which again are the Israelites the Bible speaks of. And according to your works, man, you ain't doing nothing that's pleasing to the Heavenly Father. Okay? Hey, the brother, I believe it was the brother Daniel Allah from the LA camp, he had did a lesson. All right? And the title of it, I didn't watch it yet, but I seen the title of it. It says, Jake hates what the Lord loves and loves what the Lord hates. And that's a true thing, man. That's the only, and that's why the Lord is only going to save a small remnant of you Israelites. Okay, everybody else is going to be destroyed out here, man. Shalom to you all on the comment board, by the way, as well, man. You know, hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, whatever precepts y'all got, you know, let them out. You know what I'm saying? See within the title here, is going into only a small remnant is going to be saved. And yes, that remnant's going to be Israelites. Okay, because coming up in the churches, we've been under the misconception that the Lord is going to save everybody. We've been under the misconception that the Lord has already saved us. You go around saying that you're already saved, all right, if you accept the Lord. But there's a job that you have to fulfill if you receive the Lord, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahweh Shai. You have a specific role that you have to play on the earth. All right, of his priesthood, all right, you have a role you have to play, and that means going out on the highways and the hedges and prophesying. All right, and that means not taking breaks neither. All right, because now you got these guys in a Fopi camp, which just let's not even about them. All right, you got some attendees in the audience down here. Oh man, pigeons are flocking up here. That's beautiful, man. Hey, anyway, man, you got these guys in the Fopi camp, and their head Kornaf, all right, took a long ass break, and now all of a sudden he's come back, and now they're saying he's on fire, man. Where the hell was you at when all prophecy started breaking loose, man? You know. That ain't works that the elect are going to be doing, man. All right? The elect are going to be preaching in season and out of season. All right? All this prophecy taking place on the planet Earth, and you don't got nothing to say. You out your rabbit-ass mind, man. But again, only that small remnant are going to be true to this thing, man. All right? And the Lord obviously chose the weaker things to confound the wise, as is written of in Corinthians, man. All right? But let's get to these scriptures. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 32. All right? And it reads, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." All right? And ultimately, we understand that the whole nation of Israel is going to receive the kingdom of heaven. All right? Now, that's true. Okay? Yahweh Shai, when he came in the flesh and when he was sacrificed, when he was set upon that wooden stake and sacrificed, he was sacrificed for the sins of the whole nation of Israel. Okay? But namely, that starts with the elect, because you've got 2/3 of Israel that are out here, 2/3 of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are out here that are going to be destroyed. All right? Because you're heavily into idols. I mean, look what you got right up here. Never fails. You got that stupid-ass phallus that's up there, and that you always see Jake flocking up to. And usually that's where we preach at, but you got that violinist that's up there, which is really never a problem. You know, usually we go out there and preach when people are up. This nigga got the whole stereo set. This nigga has an electric violin. Where the hell they do that at? You know? But anyway, you know, you usually have a lot of Jakes All right, Israelites that flock up to that phallus symbol right there, which really is an idol. All right, you got a lot of these Israelites that are in churches that you see, all right, which they do nothing but teach idol worship. Okay, Jake is involved in every form of idolatry that you see, and we're out here to tell you that it's wrong, but you people don't care, man. But then you expect to be saved when the Lord comes back. And you people don't even understand the magnitude of the Lord's coming. You people don't even understand how graphic when the Lord comes back, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. A lot of people still expect Chesapeake to fly in the sky, man. All right, coming riding down on a freaking unicorn, man. When that's not the case, he's going to ride down in a very dramatic fashion on a chariot, man. All right, you read it in the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel, I believe it's in the 2nd chapter. All right, I believe it's in the 2nd chapter or the 4th, when he had that vision of that statue with the head of gold, the chest of iron, the chest of silver, the abdomen of bronze, and the lower extremities of iron and miry clay. And you read about how there was a rock that came and flew from the sky and dashed it in pieces, which that rock represented Yahushua, man. All right, and you read it in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, when Ezra had the vision of the coming of the Messiah. All right, and he said what? He had came down upon a great mountain, and he said he's seen the Lord fly on top of it, man. So yeah, the Lord is going to come back in a very dramatic fashion in those UFOs. And best believe when those UFOs come in that dramatic fashion, it's only a small remnant that's going to be saved and delivered out of that, man. All right? Hey, majority of you people are going to die out here in these last days, man. And that's just the truth of the matter. People are going to die out here in these last days. And yeah, these are the last days we're living in right now, man. Hey, these are the last seconds. Hey, the last nanoseconds of the last days. The last days, man. And you Israelites want to walk around like ain't nothing happening, man. People walking around in freaking la-la land. All right? All this wickedness going on, and you still have yet to turn back to the Lord. Which ultimately shows you, man, it's a delusion that the Lord put you people on. All right? Matter of fact, I'm going to bring that precept out, too. Give me one sec, Baba Kasha. I believe it's in 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. And how do they perish, man? They really perish within their own ways. All right? You walk around, you eat defiled food that the Lord clearly tells you not to eat. And you wonder why you got gout. You wonder why you got diabetes. You wonder why you finna die, man. All that damn chitlin juice that they got all up in your brain, man. And again, talking to you Israelites, man. And Jacob walk around saying, well, my grandpa ate chitlins and my grandmama, and I was born and they was fine. When the Lord clearly tells you that you shouldn't be eating these things, man. You're destroying your own self within your ways, man. And you choose not to consider your ways. I got an auntie, man. I got an auntie that's bald as hell. All right, and we was at her crib a few weeks ago, and there was some vegans at the house, you know, and me and my brother was over there too, and we don't eat certain things that they eat. And she understands that, and she tries to, you know, when she cooks, to do certain things, which, you know, she's cool at the end of the day, but she's bald, man. You know, and she wonders why. And she was like, I don't see why people get uproars about vegetarian, about vegetables and certain things. I've been eating this and I'm fine. When it's like, you bald-headed as hell, man. Literally bald-headed, man. You know? And that's just a small example. I wanted to use that as an example, but you got people that are riding around in wheelchairs that are missing a whole leg, man. You remember that movie Soul Food, Big Mama? They all would go to Big Mama's house every Sunday and eat certain stuff. And if you remember that show, The Boondocks, they had actually made fun of that episode, man. For you brothers that might have watched that show, and you had Huey was supposed to be the so-called enlightened one that was pretty much saying you got these people that would go to Big Mama's house and eat, and then Big Mama had her leg amputated because she had diabetes from the food that she ate. And right afterward, in order to honor Big Mama's memory of her death, they do the same shit. They got Big Mama killed, man. And that's a joke. That's the mind state of our own people, man. You destroy your own selves, which shows you that you're under an extreme deception. It's obvious that this food that's out there is killing you. Your ways are killing you. Your ideas and your thought patterns are killing you. And you decide to go to the same thing, man. Again, which goes to show you, man, it's the Lord that put that mind state on you people, man. And that, as I had read in Luke the 12th chapter, the 32nd verse, goes to show you that it's only a small flock that's going to receive the kingdom of the Heavenly Father. And that's within the first go-around. All right, because when the Lord comes back with his judgment and brings that second death, the Lord is going to deliver up a small remnant that's going to be beamed up in those chariots, man. It's going to be a very small remnant, which again is going into the lesson that I'm bringing out. And the rest of you people, starting with you Israelites, are going to die, man. All right? Because of your own ways. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:10. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right? And it says, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion. Give me one sec. The brother posted a precept. All right? And that's just what it boils down to at the end of the day, man. All right? Exactly what it boils down to. The Lord had put this mind state on you bugged out ass people. You know? Bug the hell out. You got to be, I'm going to put a picture at it again. You got to be bugged out and under a delusion if you think that's pretty. You know? If you think that's pretty, you got to be out of your rabbit ass mind to want to walk up on that, take pictures, man. That motherfucker got a Cadillac bumper inside of it, man. That's the end of a Cadillac. You know, when Drake want to call it, they call it a tree. Like, literally, since when has this looked like this up here, man? Out of their rabbit mind, bro. People are bugged the hell out. You know? Hey, what precept you bring out, brother? Let's see. Salaki. What precept was this? Hold on. Hey, that's beautiful, brother. And that's that's real. You know, this is a precept that we always bring out, but I mean, hey, man, it holds hella weight because it's true. Okay? This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. Hey, the water two witnesses. Hey, this brother always bringing out precepts. Sheesh. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. All right, and what's the ultimate way that the Lord rejected thee, man? Rejected you all. Not distributing his ways unto you. You have men on the highways and the hedges that preach in season and out of season, man. 30 plus years. Starting with our apostles and our elders. Okay, 30 plus years. And you've been having Jake walking by, Jake scoffing, throwing things, lying on brothers. All right, doing things to send brothers in jail. All right, and don't even know that within you rejecting us. You ain't really rejecting us, but you rejecting the Heavenly Father, man. You rejecting who the world inwardly calls God, man. The same God that you believe that you go into church and serving, which is really Satan. That's who you're going to church serving. But in your mind, you thinking it's the God of heaven and earth. You're rejecting that God when you reject his prophets, man. All right? And that's just the truth. And what did he say? When you keep reading. You're about to say, Shalom, my brother. It says that thou should be no priest unto me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy, I believe it's of thy covenant. All right. It says when you keep, oh, you know, a matter of fact, because not the whole precept's there, but I might as well pull it up. Give me one sec. It's a damn freak fest down there by that tree right now. This is Hosea chapter 4, ending the end of verse 6. It says, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest unto me, saying that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. All right, because really when you go into that time, man, Jake was being wicked as hell. All right, so what did the Lord do? The Lord had the temple destroyed. He had taken away the priesthood. The Lord had literally taken his name away from us at a point in time. All right? And that was a very severe punishment that the Lord had did unto us, man. All right? That's why you got these Jakes all bugged out and confused right now, man. And when I say you Jakes, I'm talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Because the Lord has stripped his ways away from you. You didn't appreciate it back then, man. All right? You remember in, the elder Yashawama brought this up in a live show they did last night, man. When he went into the time of Eli, the judge, he said around that time, the word of the Lord was precious, man. All right? And you go into it right now, man, the word of the Lord is precious to the remnant. But to everybody else, man, the word of the Lord ain't precious. People walking right by it, man. But again, that goes into Hosea 4 and 6. They destroyed for lack of knowledge. They don't believe that this word is precious, man. And it's destroying them. All right? It's destroying them. Behold, the Lord is raising up the third temple with his men, breathing out living foundations of water, and you don't want to receive it, man. Which again goes to show you why the Lord is going to be justified, which he's justified within all his works. But where I'm getting at is he's completely justified why he's going to destroy all y'all, man. Why he's going to kill all y'all with a very harsh judgment, man. All right, because you've spewed against his word, didn't want to receive his word, combated against his word, ignored his word, rejected his word, and so forth, man. So he's going to turn his face away from you in that day, man. And that's just true. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18. 1 second. This is Sirach chapter 18, verse 24. It says, think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, in the time of vengeance, when he shall turn away his face. And when the Lord completely turns his face away, that's when literally the grace is over, man. Because grace is only a small period of time for you to get right. All right? So when the Lord completely turns his face away, man, that means, hey, the doors of grace is completely closed, man. The doors of the ark are completely closed. And we talk about this constantly. We always go into how the Lord is closing the doors of the ark. All right? So we're supposed to think, as the scriptures say in Sirach right here, we're supposed to think and meditate on the wrath that the Lord is going to bring. All right? Hey, that's why it's written in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and 11. All right? It says, I'm loosely paraphrasing. It says, we persuade men by the fear of the Lord, man. Through the fear of the Lord, we persuade men. Because a lot of people walk around saying, why are you teaching a message of hate? All right, the Lord didn't come down and teach that message, man. The Lord came and taught, if you don't repent, you are going to die, man. These people are forgetting this is the same God that flooded the whole earth, man. This is the same God that flooded the whole earth and only saved 8 souls, man. This is the same God that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah in a heap of fire and those other neighboring cities, man. And these people going around saying God is going to save everybody. No, man. The Lord is going to kill, man. All right? The Lord is going to do a lot more killing, a lot more destroying than saving. All right? And the apostles been saying that heavily these past few days, man. Apostle Ramlab said that a few days ago, and the Apostle Gabar. All right? He's going to do a lot more killing than saving. All right? So that's why if you receive this word, it will behoove you to really come out and listen to the prophets, man. To listen to the men of the Lord. Hey, or don't at the end of the day. Because this message is only sent forth to a particular small remnant of people that's willing to receive it. All right? This is Sirach 18 and 25. When thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger. And when thou art rich, think upon the poverty of the need. That was the key point in that one. All right? But again, going back to verse 24, it says, think upon the wrath. All right, and again, the reason why he said think upon the wrath, because he knew that the Lord was going to bring wrath, man. The Lord going to bring wrath out here. And again, within that wrath, he's only going to deliver a small chosen remnant, man. Those are the ones that are going to be saved, man. Enduring through all this bullshit amongst this hypocritical nation, man. Starting with you Israelites. All right? This is Philippians chapter 2. One second. I believe it's 2 and 15. It says, Philippians chapter 2, verse 15. It says, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High. And again, the sons of the Most High is that remnant that the Lord had promised to save, man. All right? We are the sons of God. The people that the people that you walk by and reject, look crazy with the dresses on, that you people mock saying they got dresses on. All right, wearing weird apparel, those are the sons of God you talking about, man. All right, and what does Paul continue to say when he writes this letter? He says, without rebuke, all right, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. All right, and yeah, we do shine as lights in the world, because what is the world full of? It's full of darkness, man. What did King David even say in Psalms 23rd chapter, man? He says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, man. Meaning he's without rebuke. All right? Hey, the elect are without rebuke in this day, man. All right? And this is a wicked-ass place that's out here, man. Look at America. Look what it produces. homosexuality at an all-time high, transgenderism, and so forth, man. The Lord is going to come back and do away with all this shit. He's going to destroy it with flames of fire, man. It is a crooked and perverse generation that you see out here, man. People that walk around don't believe in the Lord. You've oppressed the children of Israel for 400 plus years. What do you think is going to happen unto you, man? And you Israelites that are out here that know you've been oppressed, man, and still want to be Petey Pat with this devil that's out here, man. You're the crooked and perverse nation, holy what it's talking about, man. You can put America within this, man, but when you go into a nation is talking about a people. All right? And it starts with you. Hey, that's why that's why it's written in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, the 17th verse, man. He says he's going to visit you Israelites first. Matter of fact, I'm going to get it. Hey, you go into that word crooked, man, that means wicked as hell. It means wicked as all hell, man. And you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are wicked as hell, man. All right? Taking after your daddy, Esau Edom, who's the so-called white man the Bible speaks of, man. That's the devil. And you taking after his ways, man. After the ways of your father. This is 1 Peter 4:17. It says, for the time is now come that judgment must first begin at the house of the Most High. All right, and who does that apply to? You Israelites. You represent the house of the Most High. The Most High is supposed to dwell within you. So the Lord is going to come back and visit you first. All right? He's going to come. Hey, man, you don't think that the angels aren't recording all these things that are taking place? You read it in the book of, where is it? Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, I believe it's in Zephaniah, where it says that the Lord is shining a light upon Jerusalem. All right, and he's watching those that are settled on their leaves, man. All right? That's who he's watching, man, which means settle on your watch. And you got, hey, look, hey, you better take heed, Quanaf, because this applies to your black ass, man. And also you other Israelites, man, that don't want to get right and don't want to repent. You crooked as hell, man, wicked as hell. Jeremiah, hey, the prophet Jeremiah, our father Jeremiah saying, hey, the deeds of you have surpassed the deeds of the wicked, man. So you've surpassed the deeds of the wicked, you know? That's what you've done. All right? Following after the ways of your daddy Esau, man. Don't want to receive the word of the Lord. But as soon as Esau Edom come out in that whack-ass Joel Osteen doctrine, man, you want to hear it. Don't want to say not a damn thing. All right? Hey, the Lord is going to come back and judge you first. You got certain Israelites. I remember there's certain Israelites that said, you know, man, at the end of the day, man, the Lord going to destroy me, so what, man? Are we going to be right in the kingdom? You don't get the pain that's coming to you, man. You don't understand the pain the Lord is going to bring, bro. The Lord going to bring some pain out here in these streets. I remember a few months back, man, the brothers that come out here in the evening, you know, the main camp, there was a Jake that came up and brothers was going into when martial law hits these streets. You know, and that one dude was like, man, I'll be good in that day, man. I got guns and everything. And this woman was looking at him like, nigga. You know? Jake in that proud-ass mind state is going they really got something coming to him in that day, man. For real. Really got something coming to him that day. All right? The Lord's going to do a lot of killing, man. A lot of people, hey, a lot of you people are idolaters and don't even know it, man. You celebrate Christmas. That's idolatry. You celebrate Thanksgiving. You celebrate the slaughter of your own people. You celebrate Easter. With Easter goes back to worshiping the Queen of Heaven, Semiramis. You do all this stuff, man. Don't even know that you bowing down to Baal, man. You bowing down to the image of Baal and don't even want to receive it. And we've been out here telling you this day in and day out, and you still don't want to receive it, man. You know? Boy, hey, man. I got another precept I'm going to bring out, man. This is the book of Romans, the 11th chapter. Boy, the Lord is gone, man. The Lord finna bring that holy smackdown, bro. He's finna bring a holy smackdown on y'all candy asses, man. Hey, and we hope that we delivered, man. You know, because all I can do is continue to do the work. All we can do is continue to do the work and hope that the Lord has mercy upon us, man. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to have mercy on his remnant that hasn't bowed down to the image of Baal, man. You know, at the end of the day, what it boils down to. But this is the book of Romans, the 11th chapter. And I'm going to start at the top. Screw it. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. It says, I say then, hath the Most High casted away his people? God forbid. And who are the Most High's people, man? The Israelites. That's why he continues to say this, for I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. All right, because you got a lot of people that are out there that are saying that, you know, we understand that the Israelites are scattered, but they're saying that the Israelites that mixed in with everybody, all right, and the Lord ain't dealing with the nation of Israel no more. They'll say that it's according to the Israel of God, but they don't understand that the Israel of God is still a seed, his seed that comes from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that was ultimately meant to retain and receive that blessing that was given to our father Abraham, man, which was the covenant, man. And that covenant never changed. That covenant is still given to Israelites, man. And yeah, the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But yes, you also do have Israelites that might look like the other nations whose seed goes back to Abraham, man. You have Israelites that might look like so-called white people, Chinese, and so forth, man. And that's what a lot of you black-only Israelites can't receive, man. You black-only Israelites. All right, this is a seed thing, man. It ain't just the skin color, by the way. Now, we say Esau, the so-called white man, because, yes, the bulk of the so-called white men are the Edomites. But, yes, you do have certain people that might look like Edomites and Moabites and other nations that go back to the seed of Abraham, man, and Isaac and Jacob, you know? But what's Paul saying? He's saying the Lord ain't casted away his people, man. And the Lord's remnant are going to be of that seed, man. And that's just the truth. It's going to be of that seed. All right? It says in verse 2, the Most High hath not casted away his people, for which he foreknew. And who did he foreknew at the end of the day? Let's put this first, man. This goes to show you that he's talking about his elect, that remnant, man. Because it shows you he foreknew them. And where did he foreknow them? From the foundations of the earth. Because you read it in the book of Ephesians, the first chapter, it says what? We were predestined and preordained and with the Lord from the beginning, man. Which means that the elect were with Yahweh from the beginning, helping them create. The Lord foreknew his elect, that remnant, from the foundations of the earth. All right, and we are the elect, man. We help the Lord build all this stuff, man. All right, that's why in Ephesians chapter 2, it calls us his workmanship, man. Because we were his workmanship all the way from when he formed the heavens, man. And it's continuing on the planet earth where we're doing his will and performing his will in the form of prophecy and doctrine. All right? It says, the Most High hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elijah? All right, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, there goes Paul talking about Israel again, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone and they seek my life. Now, when you go into the history of what was taking place back then, all right, you had Elijah, who was the prophet, who thought he was the only prophet, all right, because you had Ahab and his wife Jezebel, which was a wicked-ass woman, all right, a wicked-ass heathen woman that wanted all of the prophets killed, man, all right, because they was coming up against the ways that they were worshiping. They was coming up against the gods that they were worshiping, man. So you had these people that was on a killing spree, killing the prophets. Hey, and just like they was doing that in the time of Elijah, they was doing that in the time of the apostles, man. Look what they did to our Messiah. And this is really our own people that did this, man. You know, again, that's why judgment is going to begin on our own people first. And then you got the heathen, you had those Roman troops that pierced Yahweh, did a bunch of things, put them in jail, and so forth. And best believe in these last days, it's going to come a time when they're going to come and round up all the prophets again like before. Or they're going to attempt to. Hey, certain brothers are going to get thrown in jail, as the scriptures say. Certain brothers are going to be martyrs, man. All right? But again, going back in the time of Elijah, Elijah thought that he was the only prophet that was around, man. All right? But what does Paul say right here? It says, verse 4, but what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed thy knee to the image of Baal, man. All right? And when you go into that word reserved, that means set aside. All right? Which was a small portion, man. That was only 7,000. All right? And when you go into that number 7 represents completion. All right? So he says there was 7,000 men, which was a complete number of men that have not bowed down or succumbed or was given to the image of Baal. And what's the image of Baal you see today? All right? A lot of it is involved in Christianity, man, because a lot of Christianity promotes idolatry. All right? They promote celebrating Christmas, celebrating Thanksgiving, celebrating Easter, celebrating Valentine's Day. I remember when I was young, there was an Easter egg hunt in the church, man. and you show me an Easter egg in the Bible, man, and I put this Bible down right now, you ain't gonna be able to do it. You know? That's bowing down to the image of Baal. The image that you see here, the image of this beast system, all right? This beast system that you see here with NATO, the EU, this American way of living, what they produce, homosexuality, transgenderism, and you trying to say in your own mind, justifying how it's not bad, how it's not satanic. You bowing down to the image of Baal with you just receiving this way. You know? And the only ones that ain't receiving this holy, not even just that, what I explained, but going into all of that, what I explained, are the elects, man. Because you even have certain people that are out here that are like, hey, man, I believe that is wrong, man. But in some way, form, or fashion, you're going to justify certain things that are down here, man. All right? You ain't willing to bear that cross. You ain't willing to bear that. All right? You got those men that were hidden in caves. You know? Hey, which is spiritual too. Because what does caves represent? There was 7,000 men that were hidden in caves. And what does caves ultimately represent? They represent refuge, man, and protection. All right? They were hiding in those caves. Which goes to show you that those caves symbolically represented the Lord being our hedge of protection, man. You know? Salaki. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 5. Even so then, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. All right? He says a remnant, man. Which goes to show you it's a small, very small number that's going to be saved. All right? A very small number that's going to be saved out here. And that small number that's going to be saved are Israelites, man. Okay? And people don't understand the mystery of the Gentiles according to the scriptures, by the way. Because yes, Paul did say to the Jew nor the Greek, but they don't understand what that Greek pertains to. That means really those that were Hellenized around the time of Antiochus. All right, when the whole world was Hellenized in the Greek way, and you had Israelites that was following those Greek ways and customs, man. Because you got to think about it. If it says the Jew and the Greek, he says that in Romans, man. All right. So the Greco infrastructure was already taken down and the Roman way was living, but why does it still say the Greek? Because it goes into that way, man. That way that was pushed. All right? And yes, we were Greeks at a point in time, man. All right? We didn't know we were Israelites. We were calling ourselves African American. Brothers was calling themselves Mexican. Brothers was calling themselves Puerto Rican. They didn't know. We were Greeks at a point in time. We were Hellenized, man. All right? But only a small portion of us was willing to arise and depart from this madness and wake up and understand who we were as a people, man. All right? And the Lord had always taken a small remnant of his people to build and do certain things, man. He had always used a small number of people to do his work. All right? Matter of fact, that leads me to this in Ezekiel 11. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 11, verse 16. It says, therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the heathen. See, we were scattered among the heathen. We were as Gentiles. All right. It says, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. All right. And where you go into the cities where the brothers are prophesying and preaching, which again, it's a very beautiful work, man. Like literally, man, this is a miracle when you see this. All right, a group of brothers, certain brothers ain't known each other from nothing, man. But through YouTube or whatever platform was given, they had all linked together. All right, and all came to the same mind because they was always the same feelings and same thoughts that we had anyway, man. All right, for every last one of us, man, we walked around in America being niggas and spics, whatever we were, and then we started thinking back like something ain't right. What's going on? Who, the Illuminati? Yeah, you brothers know what I'm talking about. You know, and it got to the point where you started searching, you know, and they ran across this truth, man. And then we all came together. And it's not a lot of us neither, man. Hey, man, here in Dallas, it's only it's only a camp of 20 brethren, man. And then you have certain people that are out there that come and they believe. All right, and yeah, you do have a few other camps out here in Dallas as well. And hey, you know, some of these guys in these other camps, all right, hey, they're going to end up waking up soon, you know. But when you go into the large number, and I'm just using Dallas as an example because I'm here in the city of Dallas, there's millions of people that inhabit Dallas. But it's only a small portion of people that are out here on the highways and the hedges. Okay? Even right now, for example, you got the brothers that are going to come out later, because a lot of brothers are at work and so forth, you know. But this afternoon, it's just me, you know. And again, you got millions of people. You also say this. You got thousands of people that are in downtown Dallas right now walking around, all right? And out of those thousands of people, you have a large bulk of them that are Israelites, okay? They ain't coming up to receive this word, okay? Not at all completely. But just using this as an example, and even I'm just using Dallas, but again, New York, Los Angeles, San Angelo, okay? Connecticut, all these different places where you have these camps. It's only a small group of brothers that's actually doing this, man. All right, which again goes to show you that this is prophecy, man. Ezekiel's speaking about this in Ezekiel 11, okay? This is Ezekiel 11 and 17. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where you have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel, okay? Now the thing about it is, they thought they were fulfilling that when they had given those people, those gutter rats, the land of Palestine, all right, in the year of, what, 1947, okay? They thought they were fulfilling the prophecy, man. But it's beautiful, all right when they had sent all those gutter rats over to that land that claimed to be the Jews, what had taken place? It was bombed right afterward by Egyptians, man. Which goes to show you that that wasn't prophecy, man. Because the Lord was going to deliver his remnant and send us over to that land, all right? Which goes to show you those people over in the land of Israel ain't Israelites. All right, that's Amalek, man. That's the chief house of Edom that you read about. Those are Amalekites. Those are devils, man. All right? The Lord was going to deliver his own people out of the land and send them over to the land of Israel, man. All right? And that's just the truth. And again, it's only going to be a small remnant that end up getting delivered. As we were going into earlier, man. Hey, you look at it spiritually today, there's only a small number of men that were willing to wake up out of the slumber that we've been in. All right, that we've been hypnotized in, all right, and subscribed ourselves to the name of Jacob and did the work and doing the work of the Lord, man. Hey, and you know what's crazy? It's like it. Man, to pop my back. God damn, this damn concrete. Shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry for y'all that might get butt hurt and offended at language. God damn. Whew, we need new bodies, man. But when you look at history, and when you look at when the second temple was being built, all right, you had Zerubbabel, and then you had Joshua the high priest, and Zerubbabel was the governor, which spiritually that's David, if you can receive it, okay? But you had King Cyrus that had given a decree for the exiles of Jerusalem who were sent to Babylon around the time of King Nebuchadnezzar. Cyrus had gave the decree that we could leave the land of Babylon and come back and build the temple and build the city of Jerusalem, okay? And when you actually look at the history of what was taking place, when you actually read about this in Ezra and Nehemiah and Haggai, when you read about this, when Zerubbabel had came over out of Babylon, which Zerubbabel means sown in Babylon, which spiritually, hey, the prophets that they are sown in Babylon, man. You know? But anyway, when you research the history, you had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Israelites that were in the land of Babylon at that time, man. All right, but when Cyrus had given that decree for us to get out of Babylon, do you know that it was only roughly around 50,000 Israelites that wanted to come out of Babylon and build? And this is almost 1 million Israelites that was in Babylon. You only had a small portion of Israelites that went to Jerusalem and wanted to build back the temple and the city, man. And you look at it today spiritually with the third temple that's being built, man. It's only a small remnant, a very small remnant at that. So like it's only a very small remnant at that that's willing to wake up out of this madness and build, man, which are the prophets. Those 7,000 men that have not bowed down to the image of Baal that we read about in Romans the 11th chapter. That's who it is at the end of the day, man. That small flock that Yahweh said is going to receive kingdom when you read it in Luke chapter 12, man. All right? Matter of fact, since we're talking about Haggai, I might as well get that real quick. It was a remnant, man. Hey, the Lord had always dealt with a small sanctuary, man. And that's just the truth. Now, of course, when we're in our glory, the whole nation of Israel is going to be glorified, man. All right, but right here in this wicked, perverse, crooked nation that you see out here, it's only a small remnant that's willing to wake up out of this madness and do the will of the Heavenly Father. which that will is the purpose of building, man. All right, the job or the occupation of building. All right. But let's see here. Give me 1 sec. This is the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 12. It says, Then Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Joshua, the son of Josedek, the high priest, with all the remnant of the people obeyed the voice of Yahweh their God and the words of Haggai the prophet, as the Lord their God had sent him, and the people did fear the Lord. Then spake Haggai, Yahweh's messenger, and Yahweh's message unto the people, saying, I am with you, saith the Lord. So when you go into that process of them coming out of the land of Babylon, building the second temple, it was a small remnant that you read about, man. So you look at it today spiritually with the third temple, you know, a small remnant that's building, which is very spiritual. The Lord had always chosen a remnant to do his will, man. All right, when you look at the number of his, when Israel was going off, right? When Israel was sinning, worshiping idols, doing all this idolatry, right? It was always a few prophets that was going out there telling Israel that was going off, man. All right, and that way it's here today. It was only a small remnant, and that remnant, the prophets, and those that actually hear the words of the prophets, which are very few, are going to wake up out of the madness and get beamed up. That's what the Lord is going to save at the end of the day, man. All right. Matter of fact, that leads me to this precept here. Let me see. I believe it's the 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. And this is when Ezra, by the way, is speaking to the angel Uriel, the archangel, right? It says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. All right? Which goes to show you, man, a lot of people will tell you, oh yeah, when you die, you go to heaven forever. That's it. No, the Lord's going to bring his kingdom upon the earth. That's why you read it in the book of Matthew, the 6th chapter. It says, thy kingdom cometh, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth. Just like what you see right now in America. America's a kingdom on earth. A wicked-ass kingdom, but it's a kingdom on the planet earth, right? The Lord is going to destroy this with thermonuclear fire, all right? And then, as he's doing that, he's going to deliver up that remnant, okay, which is that small few that we're reading about in Ezra, the 8th chapter. And then he's going to set us over in our land, in Jerusalem, all right? And we're going to rule the earth in righteousness, man, all right? And dash the nations in pieces, man, to follow the ways of the Lord, as prophesied in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, the 26th verse, all right? That's what it is at the end of the day, man. It might sound mean and hurtful, but it's the truth. Hey, look at our people. Look what happened to us, man. We was dashed in pieces over here in America. Our men were buck broken. Our women were raped. Our children were killed and sold. You know? And the people that did this, they ain't been judged yet. Hey, the Lord is slow to anger, as the scriptures say, man. But the Lord is going to judge. All right? Hey, the Lord is going to let you stack your sin on top of sin. And now we see that this place is reached its ripeness in sin. Hey, man, this place is ripe as hell. Hey, that's why you read it in Revelation, the 14th chapter. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick, and I'm going to jump back to Ezra. This place is ripe. This place is ripe for the picking. Hey, as that old saying, ripe for the picking. For those of you all that might be involved in farming and know, you know, when things are ripe, that means it's ready to be picked. That's what I mean when I say that. But this is the book of, this is Revelation chapter 14 in verse 15. And it says, and another angel came out of the temple crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And what are you ripe in? Your wickedness, man. It's wicked as hell. Hey, man, I don't believe that the Lord is going to allow this stuff to go on no further, man. Now, of course, we hasten the day, and when I say that, I'm not saying it as I know the hour nor the day, because I don't. Now, it could be 20 years from now, Lord forbid, but the route this place is gone in wickedness, the route you people are gone in wickedness, the stuff you push, sex changes, this, that, and the third, the food that you eat is killing you, man. Hey, man, that's why the days got to be shortened. This place is right, man. The Lord is getting ready to come back, man. That's why all these chariots are flying in the sky right now. And people are recording it on their phones, man. The angels are seeing the wickedness of this wretched place. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 16. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, for the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which was in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And what is a sickle? A sickle is a farming tool that's used like a scythe, for example. You use that to reap the stuff that's grown. You use that to cut down like wheat and things that are ripe, ready to be eaten, ready to be reaped, you know? It says that another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire. So there's an angel that's in the heavens that has power to manipulate fire. Because is this place not going to be destroyed by fire? So you got these angels that are going to come that have power over that. And yeah, it's going to be nuclear missiles, but the Lord is going to send his angels to guide those missiles, man. And then when the Lord comes back with this chariot, he's going to bring fire as well, man. That's why it's written in Luke the 12th chapter. He says, I have come to bring fire, but what if it had not already been kindled? So there's already going to be fire kindled on the planet Earth. And the Lord is going to come back and bring more fire. Best believe that. And in the midst of that fire, he's going to save a small remnant of his people, you know, and beam them and deliver them up. And everybody else here in America, namely, is going to be burnt the hell up, man. Going to be cleansed. This place is going to be cleansed by fire, man, which is the ultimate cleansing agent. A lot of people like to equate fire with Satan and the devil. Oh, the Lord's going to send you to hell where you're going to burn forever, which is Greco dogma, man. Which goes to show you a lot of people, you got Greek mind states, man. They tell you that you're going to go to hell and burn forever, man. That goes to Greek ways, man. Heathen ways. The Lord is going to come with fire, man. If you want to know about fire, man, the Lord deals with fire. He even said in Hebrews, the 1st chapter, his angels are ministers of spirits of fire, man. Ministering spirits of fire. And I got to close out shortly. I got a little bit of percentage on my phone. But it says, and another angel came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. This place is ripe for the picking, man. It's ripe for the picking, baby. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it in the great winepress of the wrath of the Lord. Hey, man, the Lord considers, when he judges this place, he considers it a wine press, man. Hey, when you go into a wine press, hey, man, really, when you go into the ancient way of pressing wine, you had many people that had to take their shoes off and mash grapes. It wasn't normally one person that did it. When you go into the ancient way, all right, you had a large cluster of grapes in a large bucket, and normally it was up to 10 people that would be in there treading upon those grapes, man. But you read it in Isaiah 63, he says, I tread the wine press alone. Meaning when the Lord comes back, man, he himself is going to be doing the judging. And yeah, he's going to cause the elect to get busy, but he going to get busy first, man. All right? He going to get busy first. What precept this to bring out? Shalom. Zechariah 9:14. And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrows shall go forth as the lightning. And the Lord, Yahweh, shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with the whirlwinds of the south. All right, and what is that lightning? What do those arrows represent? Those nuclear warheads, man. Hey, and the Lord's going to cause those nuclear warheads to fly from all corners of the earth, man. All right? All corners of the earth to land on this whore, Mystery Babylon. All right? And that's going to bring hella fire. Hey, bad. That's a bad precept, man. And that's bad meaning good, by the way. I'm being funny. I know brothers heard it. There's a song by Kanye West and Consequence called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And that's bad meaning bad, not bad meaning good. You know, now that was a bad precept, brother, meaning good. This is Revelation 14:20. And it says, and the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto horses' bridle, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So it's going to be a lot of death the Lord is going to bring, is what I'm saying, man. And out of that, the Lord is only to deliver a small remnant of people. But this world right now, many, hey, that's a lot of grapes out here. A lot of grapes riding scooters. A lot of grapes walking around in Gucci bags. A lot of grapes taking pictures of trees. A lot of grapes out here, man. You know? And the Lord's getting ready to smash those grapes. All right? Let's jump back to 2nd Ezra 8. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 2. And I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold wherein earthen vessels are made. All right, now when he is explaining, he's not saying you ask the earth and the earth is going to speak to you, but it means to observe the earth. And you look at the earth and you see it's much dirt in vessels that are made out of it. All right, because he said where it's much earthen vessels are made. And when you look at the ancient way of making pots and vases and even glass, a lot of these things come from the earth. Okay, let's keep going. And it says, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. All right, so when you go into the earth and you see the earth and you see the dirt, all right, when you go and you find gold, you can't find gold in any region of the earth. You got to go to certain places to find gold. All right, and there's even places that people go and they actually go to certain rivers and they take the mud out of the river and they let it dirt dry up and they break it and they sift it. All right, and when they sift it, there's a lot of times that they sift. You got to do all that process of gathering that clay, letting it dry, and a lot of times when they sift it, they don't find nothing. But there's very few chances when they sift it, they find little speckles of gold within that dirt. And that's what he's alluding to. And this is a parable, by the way. The angel Uriel is telling the prophet Ezra a vision. All right? But when you read it, he says, there be many created, but few shall be saved. So he's likening those few that are saved to that small speckle of gold that you find when you sift that dirt. All right? And again, you rarely find the gold, but the gold is there. You just got to look hard enough. And he's likening his men that are precious, as that gold. It's only a remnant of gold that you find, man. You know? Hey, what did the Lord say? In Isaiah, I believe it's on Isaiah 13. I'm going to read this last scripture, actually, because I got 5% left on my phone. I believe it's in Isaiah 13. Well, this battery dying fast as hell. Isaiah 13 and 12. Because remember, it said he likens that small particles of gold to those that are saved. Isaiah 13 and 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir. All right, and even in Malachi chapter 3, verse 17, he says, in that day I shall make them my jewels, man. Hey, man, so it's only going to be a small remnant that's saved, and that remnant that's saved is likely to be in gold to the Heavenly Father. All right, and everybody else is going to die, man. That's just the truth here in America. And those that are found everywhere else are going to have to serve for that period of time. All right, but I'm going to end it off on that. Lord, when this is edifying, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and much salutation to you, elect Aki. I'm kicking this word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.